Well, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be embarking on our journey into the gutters of the sixth house. And we're going to place Mercury there. And we're going to talk about what Mercury does when he's in your sixth house in your birth horoscope. Well, what is sixth house? Sixth house represents diseases. Sixth house represents obstacles. Sixth house represents your enemies. Sixth house represents debts. Sixth house represents disagreements. Sixth house represents divorce. Sixth house represents everything bad. And it also represents manual jobs. It represents miscommunication with other people and just other people who are preventing you from achieving your goals. So this is why it's a house of obstacles. This is why it's known as one of the evil houses, one of the Dushtana houses in Jyotish, in Vedic astrology. And you put Mercury there. Mercury, who's about intelligence, who's about communication, that represents speech. He is the communicator. He represents your logical mind. He represents your nervous system. He represents your lungs. He represents, in a way, digestive tract, more so with the sign of Virgo. So when Mercury comes here, the intelligence of a person all throughout their life goes into resolving conflicts, whether it's their personal life or lives of other people. And what is the best example of, resolving other people's conflict? Well, that is being a lawyer. A lawyer resolves conflicts. A royal makes agreements. A lawyer, disagrees, makes disagreements. Okay. And here the intelligence of a person also goes into the matter of social services, social well-being of other people, of lower class people, people who are unprivileged. Kind of like people in poverty, abused women, abused children. So your mind, your logical intelligence goes into resolving these things in an analytical manner. Sixth house, since Mercury represents the calculative manner of a person, whether it's to communication or studying or logical mind or working, anything, this is one of those most prominent positions that I've noticed of people who are in accounting, who are into finance, who are into being a financial advisor. Because being an accountant is what? Calculating things, using your intelligence to save the company money, using your intelligence to save somebody money on taxes. And so sixth house has a great impact on Mercury regarding the accounting career, because remember, whenever I talk about third from Mercury, becomes the eighth house is what? House of government taxes. So here the entire intelligence of a person goes into conflicts and calculating conflicts. And the thing about this is, though, it can drive a person crazy. It can drive a person mad. These people constantly think, because sixth house is a house originally the house of Virgo. So the shadow of Virgo will always be there, no matter if Mercury is in Sagittarius there, or it's in Taurus there, or it's in Capricorn there. It's on the foundation of Virgo. And so whenever Mercury is in the sixth house or in the sign of Virgo, these people think a lot, constantly thinking. They have this nervousness about them. They constantly get worried and get nervous about because they miscalculated something. They become very critical of other people. They always find little flaws and they criticize other people's work because they're so detail oriented that they tend to find things that other people don't find. What happens with these people? Let's say if a filmmaker made a movie, and we're not talking about he having this placement. Let's say if the producer of that film had Mercury in the sixth house, if the editor of the film, he's like editing, and then he looks at it, he's like, no, this doesn't make sense. And so they will criticize it because they'll find the detail. He's like, no, before this scene and this scene, you should have had this scene. And then they will just, criticize you, or somebody who's a film critic. They will find, here's the thing with these people. They tend to, or automatically not look at the good side of the things, they automatically try to find the flaws. Like, this is why accounting is very important with this placement, because here they look for those hidden glitches, those hidden glitches in the numbers, so they can find out and correct that, and obviously save money for the corporation or the individual that they're working for. And so that critical part can also then drive them into that nervous breakdown, because they do so much of that, so much of this calculative critical thinking, that it can make a person, literally schizophrenic. It can give them any kind of a mental disorder. It can give them those nervous problems. I know I tend to always forget that vocabulary, where the person suffers from this obsessive compulsive disorder. Yes, where they want certain things to be certain way, and if it's not, they go crazy. And so here Mercury can do that, and because it's the house of diseases, Mercury can give you, again, Mercury represents your nervous system, so you can have a nervous breakdown. Represents your lungs, you can have problem with the lungs, problem with the digestive system, okay? And so you can run into all these problems. Obviously, problems with your intelligence. You can be either overly intelligent, you can have, let's say, autism. There are cases I've seen of autism where somebody had an exalted Mercury. Okay, they had an exalted Mercury, but there's various kind of autism. Autism doesn't necessarily mean you're completely retard, and that's what people use. They use this vocabulary. Oh, he's an autism. Oh man, he's a retard. No, there's some of the most well-known geniuses out there with either acute autism or different type of autism. And this is why it's so important to not be ignorant towards it, because, and especially in astrology, if you ask somebody as a new beginner that, hey, tell me what will cause autism if Mercury rules intelligence, they'll be like, oh, well, debilitation of Mercury will cause autism. No, exalted Mercury can cause it, because exalted Mercury is here to think. He wants to think. Okay, and from the 6th house, Mercury looks at the 12th house of foreign lands, of losses, of import-export business, of spirituality. And so with this placement of conflict, okay, Mercury tends to seek the intelligence of a person at one point, then tries to figure all this out through the 12th house. They'll either run away from their problems into the foreign land, or they will try to seek spirituality or isolated places to get away from their problems and the things that they're dealing with right now, And third from the Mercury becomes 8th house. Sudden ups and downs, hidden things, government taxes, surgeries. So from here, they can have ups and downs with their siblings. They can obviously, they can work for the government, especially in internal revenue services. They also become the intellects of diseases, meaning medical field. They can become somebody who has studied or researched on certain types of diseases, how they work, surgical procedures, intelligence to perform surgical procedures. So this comes into one of the combination of becoming a doctor. To become a doctor, there are several combinations and several signs involved, like Scorpio, Aries, Sagittarius, Sun, Mars, Moon. But Mercury plays this part in these houses, 6th and 8th house, with this placement. Okay? So guys, this was my little analysis of Mercury in the 6th house. If you're new to my channel, subscribe above or below, because YouTube keeps changing their layout. So I don't know where to subscribe now. I guess it's down below. Wherever it says subscribe. And if you want to know where your Mercury is placed and where your conflicts come from, check out the link below. Check out my book there, Astrology at the Speed of Light. And when you get the book, I will send you the link to look at your own chart. Just make sure you follow the directions below, please. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hey, what's up, all you chaos lovers? So make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And please share my channel with all your family and friends who are in love with astrology, because I'm the man when it comes to astrology, okay? So make sure you do that, and I will see you tomorrow with another cool new video, okay? Sorry, I love my coffee spiked. Woo!